Would you do you think that less people would listen to the podcast if they knew what you were really like?
If what they knew what I was really like.
Yeah. Like, do
I
you
think I'm probably
Do you think we'd get more or less listeners if they knew how much of an ass you are?
less.
You think we'd get less?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because you pretending to be nice and me pretending to be mean gets better? Like, is a nice contrast?
It's not so much that I'm pretending to be nice. It's that I'm really trying to be nice. Like,
Okay.
this is one thing. Do you think that you're a good person?
No.
Okay. Because I'm the same way. Like, I actually think I'm like a very bad person that's like constantly just pretending to be good.
Yes. I'd agree with that. You are that way. Yeah.
And I worry about like slipping up all the time. I have terrible dreams of me doing terrible things to people all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I worry that I murder, rob. Yeah. Like, you know, when you see, like, you know, a kid on the street and they fall.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I wish I had my camera. That's hilarious. Or like...
I like that Daniel Sloss joke where he's talking about that, seeing like a kid walking on the sidewalk and like how everyone gets those thoughts, that it doesn't make you a bad person for having those negative thoughts, but everyone could be sitting on a bus and see a kid walking down a sidewalk in like utter euphoria with his ice cream cone, and doesn't make you a bad person to think, fuck, I'd love to knock that out of his hand.
But you would, right?
Yeah, a lot of people would though. Like, a lot of people would love to do that, but it doesn't necessarily make... It's only a bad person if you follow through with it.
Exactly. It's your actions that make you bad, not...
Which is why I think you're a bad person. Because, like, you were out slashing tyres last night.
I've never slashed tires.
Haven't you?
No,
No.
never. I've never slashed tires. I've never egged houses. I've never done any of those things. Though, my house used to be egged all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I like my parents' house.
Yeah, okay.
Back in the day. It was the worst.
Your van's been egged at
My parents'
Blythe
house
Park,
as well,
hasn't
yeah.
it?
Oh, no, at my parents'
okay.
house.
Yeah, right. Whoops. Yeah.
What's been going on with you? What's new in the Steve world?
Not a lot.
My mum gave you a compliment the other day,
Did she?
while at the same time dissing me. Why is your microphone on the top of your shirt?
You told me to put it there.
Yeah, but why is it not under your shirt? Why is one under?
Oh, right. That would make sense as to why I was confused putting it on. I was like, why is this not going on the same way the other one did?
Idiot. It's like you got
Sorry for all the static noise right now. There you
that's better. It's like you haven't done 20 episodes.
go. Yeah, I know. I'm still very much an amateur at this. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a compliment. My mum was like, because we have a new person coaching at the gym, Ash, welcome. But
This is not the Raw Barbell Club podcast.
yeah, I know, but people know that I have a gym and that
Okay,
you work
fair
here,
enough.
right?
Yeah.
Anyway, she was like, hey, like, Ash was coaching her. I was like, how is he? She's like, oh yeah, he's good. We'll see how he goes in a couple of weeks. And then I was like, is he better than me? And then she's like, oh, I don't know yet. And I'm like, is he better than Steve? And she's like, oh no. And I was like, wait, what do you mean? It's like, Steve's got this really good way of like divvying his time around everyone. And, you know, like that's something that you could work on more. And I was like, yeah, fuck you, Mom.
That's funny. I enjoy working here though. It's good. It's a nice change. It's different.
Change is good. But like, sometimes change is bad too.
Are you scared of change?
I'm terrified of change, Steve.
So am I. I don't like changing things. That's why I'll be perpetually doing the same work forever.
Yeah, I mean, that's why my technique hasn't improved.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. That's why I still snatch the same way I snatched 6 years ago.
Because the change is terrifying. Like, what if it doesn't work?
What did you think of my no feet snatches yesterday? Did you watch the videos?
Yeah,
Yeah, were they
all right.
Yeah, I've hit one and I was actually like,
This isn't that bad.
yeah, I hit one and I was like, that felt nice.
You'd hope that eventually they start to feel somewhat nice.
My jerks, on the other hand, yesterday felt bad.
Yeah, do you get what I was trying to say yesterday? Like, I wasn't trying to...
Yeah, you were being a dick.
I wasn't.
You were being like, you have always been shit, and you're only now realizing it.
No, I just mean, like, you get away with a lot. So, this was the conversation. You sent some jerks to me, like, oh, what do you think about these?
Yep.
And then you said that, so I think you had programmed, like, some pauses.
Yeah.
And, like, you struggle to pause. And it's pausing in the catch. It's not pausing in, like, a dip or something.
No, that'd be fine.
Which should actually change your technique. This shouldn't change your technique. Because essentially in a jerk, like, where you catch, you should be able to just hold forever. If it's, you know, like, not 100%. Even if it is 100%, if your positions are perfect, like, it shouldn't be hard.
Hold until your shoulders give out.
That's it. But, you know, Stevie, boy, has not ever practiced that. But neither have I.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't do it yesterday. But that's what I mean, like, but last week when you got me to do a heavy single,
You were fine with
like,
it.
I was fine. So I just think something was going weird yesterday because even, like, I've had to change the way that I split.
Yeah.
Like, I've had to put more bend in my back leg than I normally would, and I've had to start reaching further with my front foot and pushing my hips further forward to actually be able to pause
Yeah.
properly. But
Isn't that how
you should jerk.
you should jerk?
Yeah, maybe. But my argument is, like, I can jerk a 150 and stand it up very comfortably. Like, standing it up isn't the problem.
So, like, what's the point of working
So what's
on
the
it?
point on working on it?
That's true as well.
I also see the point. I do see the point in working on it. I'm just being.
Yeah, like, but that's
Petty.
not like your limiting factor. Like, why not work on just like dip strength or
And being stronger.
and something like that. That makes sense too.
See, my argument yesterday was, I don't think that Ilya could pause in his catch.
Yeah. At what weight? Any
Close
weight?
to 1RM.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Any weight where.
I don't think he can do 246 anymore.
Yeah. No, but like at anything where he's not just brutally strong enough to hold it there overhead. Because he does exactly the same thing that I do to recover his jerk. It's just a rushed back foot forward.
Yeah.
Like,
But he's not as unbalanced as you are.
do you think I'm unbalanced?
Would you say that your weight is probably 80% on your front leg and 20% on your back leg?
Yeah. Probably. Maybe 90-10. Oh, God. Yeah, that's fair.
I like how we start these now with training.
With training? Yeah. I don't know why.
It's a comfortable thing to start with.
I'm looking forward to that podcast we're going to do.
What
For Raw
Oh,
Barbell.
yeah. That'll be fun. So, yeah, guys, I have another podcast if you're ever interested.
Yeah. The Raw Barbell Club podcast.
Steve features heavily.
Yeah, occasionally.
Like, you've probably been our most
I think I've done 4.
most guest appearances. Maybe
Yeah.
Yannick's done 5. But he hasn't done one in years.
Are you on a season break at the moment?
No, I have podcasts in the bank. I just haven't put anything up. I even had YouTube videos that I haven't put up. But I have them. It just gets too much. There's so much to do, man.
Hey, how random was a comment from Kim the other day on the Facebook page for Uneducated Opinions?
Yeah, it's because I started putting the episodes up.
The episode's up. Yeah, I know, but like, it was just...
Didn't we talk about this last week?
Yeah, but no, not that he commented, I don't think.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
There you go. I
Where is your head?
I invited everyone on the friends list to it.
Yeah.
And then...
Did we get more likes?
Yeah, you got probably like another 100 likes, I think. And then I got tagged in that Batuta Advocate article
Of
by
friends.
like old people from like who I haven't spoken to in years who just happen to be friends with me on Facebook.
Yeah.
And the Batuta Advocate article was like, group of mates at pub under the impression their shit chat would make a good podcast. So I got tagged by like 5 or 6 different people from school being like, Stephen Dorman, this is you. And
It is us.
I know
though.
it is though. Oh, it's funny.
Very funny.
Well, we used to have the idea. I used to have that idea with like my cousins when we were younger that we should, like when we were like 13, 14, we were under the impression that our banter between the group of us would be a good radio show, and because we found ourselves hysterical, and then okay, it would never have been a good radio show, but that's what we thought, and now that's basically what podcasts are.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's still crazy to me that we even have listeners.
Oh, something that bugged me this morning. I know it's sticking on sort of a training thing, but I heard when listening to the Rogan podcast with Rob Kearney that Rogan had done one with Louis Simmons in the past that I'd never listened to. So I went back and started listening to the Louis Simmons one. It almost bugs me to my core that I just think maybe he doesn't articulate well enough, but like listening to Louis Simmons talk, I'm like, how are you considered one of the greatest strength coaches to ever live? Because you sound like you have no idea what you're doing when he talks.
Yeah.
And it bugs me.
Have you read any of his books?
I've read a couple of them, yeah. Well, I've started reading that sprint training one that Nolan lent to me. But other than that,
And would you say that he's
well written?
well written?
No.
Would you say that he's repetitive?
Yeah. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Like, is it just the way that he articulates it's bad? Like, do you think that everything that's going on in his head is really good, or do you think that just the athletes he's been blessed with coming to his gym from the beginning would have been incredible wherever they were, and that's why they're so good? And it's got nothing to do with him.
I think a lot of it might have to do with like his charisma and stuff as well. Like he probably has an infectious, like at least especially when he started, like people were drawn to him.
Yeah.
I think he probably has some like sound principles in his head, but they're very simple.
Yeah.
Like they don't need a 1,000-page book to
for sure.
carry
But even
out.
a lot of the like training theory, like you listen to him talk about it and you're like, that's not what we know to be true. But okay.
Like what?
Like just him like maxing out singles every day, and like a lot of his bar speeds and stuff aren't necessarily exactly where we know velocity-based training to be.
What do you mean? 0.8 meters per second? Isn't that exactly?
Just little things that he says where you're like
hypertrophy?
hypertrophy, yeah. Little things that he says where you're like, okay, but that's not necessarily.
Is it weird that I'm really scared of offending Louis Simmons? As if he'd
Listen to this. Yeah, I know. He obviously isn't a spaz. Like he obviously knows exactly what he's doing.
He just sounds like one.
He just sounds like one. Yeah. Got a lift.
He's also very old.
Yes.
He's like 80 years old.
Yeah. So maybe he's outdated.
But I
Is he
agree.
still alive?
He is still alive.
How?
I don't know. He's got a broken back, broken neck, broken
Everything.
everything.
Yeah. That's one of the things that he said on the Rob Kearney podcast about it. I don't know if it's true that he had bicep reattachment surgery and then
Tore it off
so he could start training again. If that's true, that's like a head case.
I'm pretty sure it is true. He's a head case. It's when you're like...
So hang on, the story was that he ruptured his bicep and then had to get bicep reattachment surgery, and then after 3 days in a sling decided that he didn't want to have to be in the sling anymore and deal with the bicep. So because you can live with a ruptured bicep and it doesn't really matter, and you can like still press and stuff, but so that he could press without pain, he just took it out of the sling and quickly extended his elbow as fast as he could to snap the rupture again, to snap the reattachment, and then started bench pressing.
That's terrible. What's the point? Like, do you want to be better or do you just want to train? Surely, like, you're...
Probably just wants to train.
Yeah.
The steroids will get them better.
But that too. It's probably why it tore in the first place.
Should we move off a training topic?
Yeah.
Do you have something to talk about?
Yeah, we have two things to talk about.
I can't remember them.
Ah, do you think boys and girls can be friends?
Oh, okay. So this is from that Dr. Drew podcast.
Well, I was thinking about it after that, but they
Okay.
didn't talk about it that much.
Okay. It depends on the situation. I think that there's probably almost always going to be like, no, yeah, they can, but it does depend on the situation. I think it's hard for a single male and a single female to be just friends without one person wanting more than that.
Is that because like you're irresistible, so that's your experience?
No. No, it's because like male to female connection is generally formed initially through attraction, as a general rule.
Mm.
Or not even as a general rule, like that's almost factual, depending on obviously the individual. Some people have other biases, but that's fine. But as a general rule, it's attraction that makes it that way. At least it might be for different reasons, but a lot of the time, like as in it might be a different type of attraction, like it may not be an attraction sexually or anything like that, but a lot of the time, especially from the male end, that's what catches their attention in the first place. So that's how it starts, and then it's all good for them to be friends and that sort of thing from the beginning, but eventually that attraction for one person is probably going to shine through a little bit. And that's not to say that as if we're using the guy as an example, it could be the female, that's fine. But the guy, it's not to say that the guy can't suppress those feelings if she's not interested in it as well, and then them still have a perfectly fine friendship. But it's hard.
That's fair. I think they can be friends. I think men and women can be, like, the only way it works though well is if there is a reason for the friendship. So like, you know, like with like guys and guys, like you could meet someone at the pub and just like end up having like a good friendship with them.
Yeah.
Whereas with a male and female, there should be a reason that they have to be around each other in the first place. Because then it doesn't start with the attraction.
Yes. Okay.
You know, for example, like if I'm friends with you and then I meet Taylor, I'm friends with Taylor because
You were friends with me.
friends with you. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a reason for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or like in the training world, like
That's a whole nother issue.
being friends with your friends'
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah, yeah.
You think that's weird?
No, I don't think it's weird. I think it's a good thing.
Oh yeah,
But I think it can become problematic when
they split up.
or if they split up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take Taylor's side.
Okay. Yes, that's what I was worried about. Well, I would take Kush's side. Like, I'm already planning a move to Canada. Yeah, I agree with that. It definitely does make, and also because otherwise, I think. Do you think that people, male, female, can hang out just for the sake of hanging out without there being an attraction there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's possible. I just think that there needs to be like a shared interest outside of just like wanting to hang out.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, but I guess that's what I'm saying. Like, do you think there's just wanting to hang out outside of an attraction? Or you think if you're just wanting to hang out, then it's probably because there's an attraction there?
It depends. It depends what the conversation's like. It depends how pretty she is.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Do you think it's...
But see, like that's the same with guys too. Like you don't want to hang out with like cardboard. Like you
No,
want to
yeah,
have a
but
good
that was
conversation.
going to be my counter argument if you
Yeah.
said that and then you didn't say that, what I wanted you to say.
What did you want me to say?
Well, I wanted you to say that, no. I wanted you to say no, like if you're just hanging out for the sake of hanging out, it's probably because there's some sort of attraction there, whether it be physical or emotional,
Yeah.
or whatever. But then my counter argument was going to be, well, then why is it any different to just wanting to hang out with a mate
Yeah.
for no reason? Are you gay?
Yeah. I don't know. Because like this was obviously a topic that I brought up, but then I was like thinking about, because Kush has a lot of like male friends that she like, especially in Canada, that she's like hangs out with a lot.
Does that bother you?
No. But I don't have a lot of girlfriends
Mm.
that I would know, that I would have met outside of like the relationships I already have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair
And I
enough.
wonder if that's just because maybe I don't go out of my way to meet new people.
Mm. Yeah,
As well.
no, but I would agree with that. Like, I don't have many. Probably gonna put my foot in my mouth here, but I will. I probably don't have, outside of like work or other friendship groups. I probably don't have any female friends that didn't start from an attraction purpose. If they didn't come from the gym or from work, like I have a lot of friends through the gym and stuff that I don't have that attraction to, but if it was someone that I just met out and then became friends with them, it was probably because of that reason in the first place.
Yeah, and like growing up, I had a lot of friends that were girls.
Mm.
But as I got older, like that kind of like went away.
Is it unreasonable for a partner? Is it unreasonable for your partner to be uncomfortable about you having female friends?
I guess it also depends on your relationship.
But is it unreasonable, do you think?
No, if you've proven yourself untrustworthy before, then
No, but
definitely not.
you haven't proven yourself untrustworthy.
Yeah, no. If you have like, if it bothers your partner, then you guys have to talk and like deal with it. But if it, like, it shouldn't bother.
It
bother
shouldn't?
that.
Yeah. Because there should be that mutual respect and trust.
That, and you know what? Like sometimes people can get jealous for just like spending time with other people.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about like being a bad person at the start of this.
Yeah.
And sometimes like I'll hear a story of someone like doing something with someone else, like just a friend, and I'll be like, fuck, bastard. Why doesn't he hang out with me? Like, but that happens to like guy friends as well.
Yeah.
But like that's just a thought that goes to your head, and you're like, wait, why are you jealous? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't even like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
It's like FOMO.
It is FOMO, yeah, for sure. From that point of view, it is. Are you ever particularly, like if Kush is around, were you ever particularly conscious of like making sure you weren't like one-on-one hanging out with other girls just for the sake of her feelings? Like even if it's... No.
I would never think about that.
No.
But at the same time, like I don't really have girls that I would hang out.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Why are you?
I'm conscious of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm conscious of it. For sure. But I think that's just like a... Why? And this is another discussion, and this is what the Dr. Drew said on that podcast about his own relationship, is like, if it is something that makes your partner uncomfortable, maybe you need to talk about why it makes them uncomfortable. Like, and if is a jealousy thing or whatever, is it necessarily worth it anyway? Like, is it just a sacrifice that maybe you should make to make sure that you're not making your partner uncomfortable for whatever reason? Even if it's, like, obviously if it's a completely irrational reason, then fair enough. But on the other side of the coin, like, you're just going to make your partner uncomfortable, which is going to make your life hard, which is going to make the relationship hard.
Yeah.
So is there much point in doing it, like, in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, obviously that then, the way I described that, I guess, comes off as, is it then fair to restrict your own, like, social life and stuff for the sake of making sure your partner feels okay about it, which is maybe unhealthy? But there's also the other side of the coin where, like, do you want to make your relationship, put a strain on your relationship for just the sake of having a coffee with a friend of the opposite sex? Like,
Yeah, that's a challenging one. I think everyone should grow the fuck up and just like get over that.
get over that. Yeah.
But at the
But a
same
lot of people
time-
can't.
But a lot of people can't.
And that's and you are the way you are. So like, and Kush is the way she is as
Yeah.
well. So I think like you maybe have a bit of a warped sense of how everyone should be.
Yes, yeah, I
Which
do.
is fine because you're both so laid back, like
Yeah.
you are with that sort of thing. Whereas like I know I'm not, like
Yeah.
from a personal point of view, like I'm not super laid back about that sort of thing. But that being said, I also have a very good understanding of what guys around my age bracket are thinking,
Yeah.
regardless of who they're hanging out with. And that should make my partner scared as well, because like for that exact same reason, right?
Yeah.
Because I know what guys my age are thinking about. Like if I was going out with a female friend for coffee, like you can almost guarantee 9 times out of 10, there is, even if it's suppressed, there's some sort of ulterior motive there.
Would you pay for coffee?
Yeah, of course.
Every time?
Yeah, 100%.
Even if what if it was a guy?
It was a guy, a lot of the time, yeah. Yeah.
I was just gonna see if there was a difference in the way you treated your male friend to female friend.
There probably is a difference in the way you treat a male friend and a female friend, but that's also probably like a deep-seated belief that the male
Should pay.
like regardless of whether if it's a relationship or not.
Well, the
I
fun
know that's
thing-
probably outdated, but it's like
like
deep-seated in me.
Yeah,
as-
that's fair. I was just gonna say it's funny that like in my relationship, when me and Kush first started going out, like I had a lot of money, and then when I opened the gym, I didn't. So
Yeah.
like I went from being like really well off and being the one that spent a lot of money to not being as well off and Kush taking care of me.
Yeah.
And now like I've realized that that's where I want to be.
Being taken care of.
Yeah, like I want to be a house husband.
Without the title of husband.
Yes. Yeah, just like I just want to
A house de facto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like doing the laundry, I'll clean the house, I'll
Yeah.
do the cooking, but you go to work and
Because really that is the easier life. Yeah.
it really is. I know like people complain about it, but like
Yeah.
you can watch TV, listen to podcasts.
But how often, I mean, I don't know whether if you socialize in that group of people anyway, but if I talk about like ex-girlfriends and stuff, so like I had an ex-girlfriend that was like Lower North Shore.
Yeah.
And like her mum was a house mum sort of thing, because her dad made big bucks. Like the amount of times, even at 17, if I would sit there and listen to like a house mum complain about like, yeah, but you don't understand how hard it is to be a house mum. And I'm like, no, you are not seriously going to compare what you do to what your husband does. Like, he's paying for your lifestyle. Let's not confuse it. And it works the other way as well. Like, I'm sure there's men out there that complain.
Yeah.
Are you looking at me like, did you seriously just start this conversation?
Yeah. So as like someone who has done that, who has like my job's not that hard when I'm doing
Yeah,
this stuff.
yeah.
So like I can do all of those things. Like working 9 to 5 is so much harder.
Yeah, 100%.
Than staying at home
100%.
doing like
and like
housework
I
and stuff.
understand, like, especially if you've got children and stuff, like being the one that has to get the kids up, take them to school, pick them up from school and stuff. But are you like, if the reason why you're having to do that is because your husband's out the door or your wife is out the door at 7 a.m. and then back after the kids get back from school and he's worked the whole day or she's worked the whole day, are you really making that comparison that you had to spend an hour and a half getting the kids ready for school and then make them afternoon tea and do 2 loads of washing in the middle of the day?
It's still work.
It's still work, but are you making the comparison seriously?
Yeah.
Like, especially when a lot of these people, like a lot of these on the Lower North Shore, a lot of them, yeah, I don't care. Fuck it, I don't care. The women and stuff who have like gotten up and gone to like taking the kids to school and then they go play social tennis, get a coffee with all the mums and stuff, come back, do a couple of loads of washing, go sit down and watch their favourite TV show for the night or for the afternoon, go get the kids from school and then cook dinner, but will complain about how hard their day was after playing social tennis, getting a coffee and stuff, and will complain that like I've heard genuine complaints that like they don't get to go out enough when their husband's at work.
Yeah, well, you just described my dream job, so.
Yeah, 100%. But that's because this is your dream job, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you wouldn't complain about it.
No. Imagine that. Like, wake up, just, I won't have kids, so I don't have to worry about that problem. Do a podcast, feed our pet Lizard. I think we should have a lizard.
Yeah. Do you like lizards?
Yep. Play some social tennis.
Mm.
Nah, too much cardio. Play some social weightlifting.
Hey, I was having breakfast in the morning, and yesterday morning, and I had a huntsman crawl up my leg.
Yeah. We can't show the photos video, but that was terrifying. That's massive.
Yeah.
That's much bigger than any of the ones that have attacked me.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me at first. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Ah!
And I flicked it off.
And then killed it
No, I just left it on the floor.
in your house?
Yeah.
What did you actually do?
I left it on the floor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because they're safe.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're like, fuck that.
You had a chance to
Get
rid
rid of
this
one of them.
world of another
Mm.
scary thing.
Yeah. I regret going down the path of conversation that I just went down.
Yeah, I could see why.
Mm.
It's just so weird to me that
But
you
also
would
no housebound mums listen
undermine
to our podcast, so.
like the efforts of so many hardworking women out there every time.
Mm. I do. That's why I regret going down that path, because it's going to come off like it was an attack on women rather than an attack on selfish people.
Mm. I think people that complain about their jobs all the time should change their jobs.
Mm.
What do you think?
I agree.
As someone, like, I think we're blessed in the sense that we get to do things that we really like, and we don't really understand what it's like to have to do a job to pay bills and not like what you do.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I agree. Is this a follow-on from what I was just talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because like on the other, like this is your saving grace. This is the
no, on the
end
other side of the
sp-
on the other side of the coin, I have like, if you're someone that goes and finish what you were going to say first.
Okay, this is my contradictory thought. My life is full of contradictions at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like I'm so conflicted about things.
Yeah, yeah,
On one end, I'm like, just change your job.
yeah.
Like
On the
if
other
you-
end, you have to pay bills.
But on the other end, you have all these responsibilities and things. So like, I understand that that's difficult. But like, where's the happy medium?
And I have absolutely zero issue with someone who complains about the fact that they don't enjoy their job because they're working a job all the time. My issue comes up with people that have the easiest.
The people that
people that haven't
stay at home.
No, people that have the easiest lifestyle and still need to find something to complain about. People that have just had the silver spoon from start to finish.
Yeah.
And still find something to be unhappy about. Like I really.
But isn't that human nature?
Yes, it is, but like I really struggle with that. Like because there's people that genuinely struggle, like genuinely have serious money issues, housing issues, work issues, health related issues, and they complain less.
Yeah.
Like that, it bugs me to see someone who like has everything and complains more than people that have nothing. No, it just like that contrast kills me. Like it really frustrates me to no end.
So it's mainly women you're unhappy with?
No, it's men that complain like that as well.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
I know, like young guys as well that literally have everything from mum and dad, like because mum and dad have worked super hard, so and mum and dad have given them everything, and they've had that silver spoon, but it's almost like their life is harder than someone whose parents have no money, struggle to put food on the table, like they've gone to, mum and dad sent them to the silver spoon to private school and all this stuff, and then someone else has had to go to some rough school in back Western Sydney, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, it just bugs
I
me
mean,
to see.
but at the same time, like, the more time and stuff you have, the more chance you have to complain as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I get upset with my parents that they...
I just can't see people I struggle with people being ungrateful for what they have.
Well, that's what I was just about to say. It's like I struggle with my parents, and like I always tell them, like, you took too good a care of me.
Yeah.
Like, you've created a little bitch.
Mm.
There's a reason that I don't have the, gusto and strength of character that I should have. It's because you guys babied me.
Yeah. Mm. That's an interesting topic as well.
What's an interesting topic?
Like,
How your parents have ruined you?
yeah. Yes and no, like, but how trying to protect your child too much can actually work maybe in backwards, like, and go the other way and actually set them up for failure a little bit. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. As I've gotten older, I've realized that hardship breeds like hard people,
Yeah, for sure.
and like
Why do you think all the people from those Nordic countries are so tough?
that's it exactly. All the people that are country towns that have to deal with like just shit all the time.
Yep.
Like, they're tough. Why do you think
And then shit bounces off them now, like it doesn't.
exactly? Why do you think like all the athletes that come from country towns are always so strong?
Yeah.
Like, they have a certain strength of character that us city folk don't have.
Mm. Yep. Can go the other way as well, though, where you've been put through too much and it just ends up with
Breaking you.
breaking you. Yeah.
That's true too.
Mm.
But God only gives you as much as you can handle.
Mm. Are you allowed to make a reference about God?
I don't know, I was making a joke.
Oh.
Definitely, people go through a lot more than they can handle. I just hate that. I hate when people say that
Yeah. That's fair.
because it's so untrue. Like, you believe whatever you want to believe, but don't
Go on.
just don't say things like that.
Like what?
That God only gives you
As much as you
as
can
much
handle.
as you can handle.
That's just people taking comfort, though, a lot of the time.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how you can get comfort out of a statement like that, though. Like, when you can see how much suffering people actually go through. Like, that's such a terrible thing to say. Man, this podcast is going down a dark road.
Elaborate.
Just like you have, let's say you wake up tomorrow and you have like a terrible, like you have bowel cancer, pancreatic cancer, something that is really like you're not going to come back from it, right? Like, that's a tough thing.
Yeah.
And like, people will say stuff like that about you. They might not say it to your face, but they'll say it to your family, like,
Yeah.
and then 3 months time, you're on your deathbed. It's the same thing, and like, your family is expected to take grace in the fact that you're like, they can handle it, because God wouldn't give you something that you couldn't handle.
Just allow people to be angry or upset or whatever,
Yeah,
rather
you
than.
should be angry at what fate deals you.
Yeah.
Like, it's unfair. And I understand that life's not fair, but it's really...
Sometimes it's more unfair.
Yeah, I just think it's really important not to strip away the humanity of a situation by Godsplaining it, essentially.
Yeah.
I hate Godsplaining. That's actually what my problem is.
Yeah.
And that's a new word. It's basically like mansplaining or whitesplaining, but it's when you explain away something to do with like life with
Based
your
on religion. Religious planning?
Yeah, I like the word Godsplaining though.
God's planning? Fair enough. Okay, yeah. That was fairly well thought out. Why do you always have something that's well thought out? I'm always like just making up ideas as I talk.
Yeah, I make them up as I talk as well. Like, I haven't... Godsplaining is a new word to me. I feel like
Sure.
I've created it. And I hope that it becomes a thing.
Yeah. For our 7 listeners will get it out there.
Spread it out.
Yeah. God's planning. No, I like that. That's cool.
What's the time?
20 past 8.
How long have we gone for?
40.
Oh, cool. Do you want to call it there?
Sure.
Awesome.
All right.
Where can people find us?
Just before we finish up, just remember these are uneducated opinions. And they're not even necessarily opinions. Sometimes it's just Steve going on a rant. That's all I wanted to say.
You can find me at Train with Andy on Instagram. You can find Steve at Steve Norman 250 on Instagram. If you like this episode, please share it with your friends. Give us a tag. Make sure we know that you're listening, because then we can give you a shout out. Were there any shout outs for this week that you know?
Sean Mullins for commenting on the Facebook post.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good to hear from him. Haven't heard from him for a little while. So that was good. I know we got some pretty regular listeners that I think deserve a shout out every now and then. Maybe we'll need to go back through it again
Sure.
tomorrow.
Yeah, just message us or comment and just say that you listen. Then we can give you shout outs. This episode is also on YouTube, so if you want to go check that out, you can see how we're actually interacting. You can see this cool blue sign in the background, and make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you can see when the next episode is up. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
See you later.
See you next time.
Bye.